لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك.
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن سيدنا ونبينا محمدا عبد الله ورسوله. Brothers and sisters in Islam, the story of Hajj is about being tested. And after you're being tested, throughout the journey of Hajj, Allah will honor you and Allah will grant you the new birth certificate for your heart. Hajj, brothers and sisters in Islam, is the only pillar in Islam that if it is done sincerely for Allah, you come back with a new birth certificate. من حج فلم يرفث ولم يفسق رجع من ذنوبه كيوم ولدته أمه. But you have to be observant of the etiquettes, of the rules of Hajj. But what will help you to be observant of these etiquettes and rituals is understanding the story of Hajj, the story of the family of Ibrahim alayhi salam. As we progress with Ibrahim alayhi salam in Iraq, where he called his people to Islam, yet they actually met him with a severe response, a fire. You see, putting out the light of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is impossible. They want to extinguish the light of Allah, but Allah will not allow them. The light of Allah at the time was Ibrahim alayhi salam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala showing them a clear sign that Ibrahim alayhi salam was supported by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. One of the amazing things I read about some of the reactions of the people after they saw Ibrahim alayhi salam sitting in the fire that kept burning for days and days, and he was sitting and mentioning the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, glorifying the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He loved Allah so much, brothers and sisters in Islam. You could sense from the way that he presented Allah to his people. Look at him. فَإِنَّهُمْ عَدُوٌّ لِّي إِلَّا رَبَّ الْعَالَمِينَ الَّذِي خَلَقَنِي فَهُوَ يَهْدِينِ والذي هو يطعمني ويسقين وإذا مرضت فهو يشفين. The one who guides me, the one who gives me water, the one who gives me food. Can you see the amount of love that he had? This is your key. What your heart loves most is what will drive you to be committed to most. Ibrahim alayhi salam, his heart was filled with love, that he was willing to sacrifice his own self for love, with the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That he was willing to sacrifice himself for Allah. Don't you think that he actually did not know that Allah will spare him, that Allah will save him? He did not know. He sought the means. He said, Allah is all sufficient for me. But he trusted that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will deliver him. Brothers and sisters in Islam, when you call people to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you come to such an end, that they are actually willing to get rid of you, and then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shows them a clear sign that what you're telling them is not a fairy tale, that you have a power that stands behind you, support you. That power actually bothered a man at the time that the books of tafsir call him Namrud, a ruler, someone whom actually was worshipped by other people. He actually asked people to worship him. He wanted to debate with Ibrahim alayhi salam too. And Ibrahim also won that debate. Brothers and sisters in Islam, as a caller to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and your message somehow is not received well, don't stop, don't give up, go somewhere else. Isn't that what Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam did? Once his call, his message was not well received in Mecca, he already started exploring, actually through the season of Hajj, with other tribes, with other places. He used to go in Mina, where you will be camping, insha'Allah, for couple or 3 days. And he was talking to the people there about accepting him to come to deliver his message where they live. He actually made a journey on foot to a place called Ta'if. The same thing with Ibrahim alayhi salam. Once he given his message to his people and they refused it, he decided to leave. فآمن له لوط, Lut alayhi salam, and his wife Sarah believed in his message. And then Ibrahim alayhi salam said, وَقَالَ إِنِّي مُهَاجِرٌ إِلَى رَبِّي, I will migrate for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. إِنَّهُ هُوَ الْعَزِيزُ الْحَكِيمُ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will guide me to what to do because He is almighty, He is all wise. Brothers and sisters in Islam, Ibrahim left his homeland for Allah. For Allah. And he went to Sham, Palestine. Wherever he went, he preached La ilaha illallah to the people. He shared with them the message of Tawheed. And he stayed in Palestine for a while with his wife Sarah. And you know, once your call is not getting anywhere, brothers and sisters in Islam, that's what you should do too. Find a place, a fertile place for your message, for your call to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Don't stop. But you know what Ibrahim alayhi salam really wanted? After Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala spared him from the fire, after Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala delivered him safely from the enemies of Allah, he made this beautiful dua. رَبِّ هَبْ لِي مِنَ الصَّالِحِينَ. He looked into the next generation. Always, brothers and sisters in Islam, if you want to serve the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, work with the new generation. Oh Allah, give me a righteous child. A child who can carry on my call after me. This is the nature of those who call to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That once they feel like their call is not getting anywhere, they then seek it through their offspring. Look at Zakaria. He made the same supplication almost. That I want a child to inherit me and also to carry on the message after me. Brothers and sisters in Islam, the new generation of Muslims, fertile land, an earth that is fertile for all of us because their fitrah still fresh and pure. Their fitrah still accepted to the call that you have. could accept what you have of a message. And look, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wanted to empower the children of Israel again in the land, He started with Musa alayhi salam. The same exact thing. Ibrahim alayhi salam wanted his own son. And in order to have your own son who is righteous, the first step is to have a righteous wife. Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam tells you, Hadith Abi Hurairah في Bukhari or Muslim, that a woman is sought for marriage for 4 things: money, lineage, physical beauty, and religion. If you want a new religion, if you want a religion in your child, you must choose the one with the religion. If you choose a wife for any other criteria than religion, then your chances of having a righteous son are 0, almost. There is no harm in having a quality beside religion. Religion and rich, religion and beautiful, religion and lineage. But you compromising. The scholars, brothers and sisters in Islam, they say the problem of the ummah right now can be summed up in this question. Ask an average Muslim right now, why do you marry? Why do you marry? For what? You know, they will stumble. They will actually not come right away with the answer. Umar ibn al-Khattab radiyallahu anhu told you the answer. He said, Wallahi, by Allah, inni la ukrih nafsi ala nikah hatta yakhruja min dhahri nasamatun tusabbihu Allah. By Allah, sometimes I force myself to have a relationship with my wife with the intention, just for the cause that of that will come an offspring who will glorify and praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Brothers and sisters in Islam, Ibrahim alayhi salam chosen a righteous wife, Sarah. The next episode, we will share an incident that took place most probably in a country in Egypt that will show you the righteousness of Sarah, and it will lead to the introduction of a new face to the family, Hajar, the mother of Ismail, the boy who helped his father raise the foundations of the Kaaba. Till the next episode of the story of Hajj, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا